What is up, everybody? Happy training day eve, all Eagles fans. Today, we're talking everything up and down Philadelphia Eagles as the Birds get ready for training camp tomorrow. Joining me, he is Ryan Reese. Go give him a shout out on X at Philly Sports PSA. What's up, Ryan?
Not much, man. This is an exciting time. We've waited a long time. It's been the longest offseason in the history of the world, as it is every offseason. And, well, we've made it. We've made it to some real football here.
Also joining us fresh from Punta Cana, it is Rob Lange. Give him a shout out on X at Philly_Menace. What's good, Rob?
That's not just a Dominican Republic tan glowing. I'm glowing because of how excited I am to see your two faces. That's the glow. The glow is not the Dominican tan, although it is here. It is here. Trust me. A lot of sun. But excited to come back. I came back to college football 2K5 and now Eagles training camp. I'm not even going to lie to you. It wasn't until I think yesterday that I realized the Eagles were reporting tomorrow. I don't know how I missed it, but I did. And I am pumped that we're back, baby. It's, give us something else to talk about other than watching fans lose their mind while the Phillies have a rough stretch, even though they're still up 8.5 games.
It kind of crept up fast. It was such a lull, between June and beginning of July. Then the last couple weeks went really fast, I feel like. All right, on the dock tonight, we're talking top 3 reasons Eagles fans should be optimistic about 2024. Top 3 reasons you should be skeptical, pessimistic about 2024. And then we're going to talk about maybe a position or two on a team where maybe the week 1 starter is not currently on the roster. So let's jump right in here. Where do we want to go first? Should we do optimism first? Should we do skepticism first?
I feel like, dealer's choice. I think we should just go down the line and if you want to be optimistic at first or if you want to be pessimistic, whatever you're feeling.
Okay.
All right. I'm with it first.
I'll go first. I'll lead off with optimism. This is a no-brainer. The fact that the Eagles have young, real talent in the secondary, guys. That's an easy one. There are no words to express how exciting it is to watch Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean develop, whether that's in the nickel, whether that's on the outside, all 2024 season, man. There's going to be ups and downs, but the pass defense was such an Achilles heel for the Birds last year, or lack thereof. I'm excited to see how that plays out. Give me the young secondary, young Birds in the secondary.
I like it.
Very nice. Young Birds in the secondary.
Now, how are we doing? Are we all you can't pick the same thing twice?
No, you can do whatever you want.
All right. Well, I'm going to go next just because I said so. Ryan, if you want to take a break and go play a quarter of a 2K game.
Yeah, my boys need me. They need me up there. I gotta get them. I got it.
No, but my one thing of optimism is the star players on offense. Okay. When you talk about when the ball goes into someone's hands, it could be AJ Brown. It could be Devontae Smith. It could be Saquon Barkley. It could be Dallas Goedert. It could even be Jalen Hurts, doing the Jalen Hurts type of thing. I mean, in those positions, those key positions on offense, they are loaded. And I know that, and we may talk about this later, the third wide receiver is a bit of a question mark, but your top 2 guys can both be ones anywhere else in the league. Anywhere else in the league, they could be ones. And because of that, you got to feel pretty optimistic that this offense is going to find its way with Kellen Moore, with all these stars and all these key positions, and will be very successful this year.
Stars on offense. Ryan, do you have one before I go to my number 2?
Wow, that was the most long-winded way to say stars on offense.
Oh, how I've missed you.
Miss you too, buddy. Listen. I'm actually gonna go with a little bit of skepticism first.
What?
Yeah.
negative, Mr. Friggin' Negative.
Listen, I'm normally Mr. Positive here. I feel like I gotta get this out, and one of the major reasons for being concerned about this season, and Rob, I know you just got back, but I really felt like if I didn't hammer this home, as soon as you got back, that
He's going to do it. He's
it
actually going to do it.
It wouldn't be true, but it's the lack of any decent linebacker on this squad. And listen, we all know Rob loves his Devin White, but there's a lot of if there, and there's not a lot behind him either. There's a lot of injury history. There's a lot of youth and inexperience, and there's a lot of not great linebacker play in the history of the Eagles, and I got to tell you, we did not do enough to fix our linebackers, plain and simple.
Rob, while you were away, we did a most overrated players on the Eagles segment, and guess who was atop that list?
That's unbelievable.
Let's go.
I guess when he's an All-Pro this year, you guys can still call him overrated.
You can literally come to my house and serve me crow on a silver platter, and I will eat it all up.
I ain't driving all the way out to you. You're driving here so I can serve you crow. That's the deal.
No, Ryan, I'm right there with you, man. That is definitely one of my biggest reasons for skepticism. You look at the best teams in today's NFL, man. They've all got solid linebackers. The Chiefs with Nick Bolton and Leo Chenal. You look at the Baltimore Ravens, Roquan Smith, Trenton Simpson. You look at the 49ers, Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw. 3 of the 4 best teams in football last year had some of the best linebackers, period, in football, period. So I'm with Ryan. I'm not a believer in this group whatsoever. Devin White's a major liability in coverage. Zach Bond is more of a pass rusher. They've got major question marks, man. And I don't really expect much from Trotter Jr. I think Ben Simran is, a special teamer.
I think you forgot the van.
Van Simran.
That he's going to be living in by halfway through the season.
Wow.
Yeah, that is definitely a real concern. That's still one of the worst units in football.
Yeah, I'm not in any disagreement about the lack of depth and the linebacker position. But if for my skepticism, I would like you to list it exactly how I say, Mr. Dibes, and that is lack of depth behind Devin White, because I am not concerned about Devin White. I'm concerned about every other linebacker on the team, though, because yes, none of them have proven anything in this league. So for me, my skepticism would probably be the lack of depth behind Devin White. That's my skepticism for number one. But because you guys have already talked about that, I'll hit you with my second skepticism. And my second skepticism is more of a nerve-wracking type of thing. And was Jalen Hurts a one-year wonder?
Interesting.
Was what we saw from Jalen Hurts 2 years ago the real deal or not? And I'm not saying I'm skeptical that he can be good again. I just don't know. I think it's the unknown of Jalen Hurts leads me to, because the fact of the matter is, if 2 years ago was the one-hit wonder, well, we are screwed. And I don't mean just now, because we're back looking for a quarterback again. And you just paid him a lot of money. Yeah. So that is something that I think we need to be skeptical about, because it's nerve-wracking to think what you saw last year was closer to the truth.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off of that because that's my number one reasons for skepticism. And it goes hand in hand. Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, those two not being the leaders we think they are. And we saw how the team just fell apart in the second half of last year. For the first 3 months of last year, Hurts was an MVP favorite. But you look at his performance after December, not acceptable. You look at the way the Eagles quit. You look at how they stopped playing for each other. Examples of that were all over the place especially during that playoff game against the Bucks. My biggest fear is that what Rob just said, Jalen Hurts isn't the leader on and off the field we think he is. And Nick Sirianni, maybe they shouldn't have brought him back. I'm a little concerned about that. So I'm right there with you, Rob.
Yeah, no, that's a really good one, guys. Didn't actually have that, and now I'm gonna probably have nightmares about that tonight.
That's what I'm here for. I mean, if you stay up all night playing 2K5, you won't have any nightmares. So
I'm gonna lighten it up. I'm gonna give you a big reason why we should be excited. And obviously, the Eagles finally have real coordinators. Kellen Moore helping Jalen Hurts against the blitz, helping him grow between the ears as a modern day quarterback that can pick apart a defense with his legs, with his arm, with his processing. Then you get to Vic Fangio, who could, be that adult in the room of a defense that's younger, that's hungrier, that's faster, more athletic. Has some big question marks with key guys looking to kind of seize their opportunity, but they got coordinators now in the house, and that's a big deal.
Yeah,
I like it.
Good one. Yeah, I'm gonna go with another skepticism.
You are a negative son of a bitch.
No, I really am. I don't know what's happening, but Dallas Goedert is horrendously overrated.
Interesting.
And I think we need to start looking for his replacement yesterday. This man is injured often, as we know. He hasn't amassed over 830 yards in a season. He hasn't caught more than 5 touchdowns in a season. I think his catches, I think, was 58, 59. Like, you put that together, 59 catches for 830 and 5 touchdowns. That's not that great.
No.
I mean, what has he really done? He's been hyped his whole career. And either he starts having a good season and then he gets hurt. Or, they stop going to him or whatever it is. For a million different reasons. And everybody has jumped on the excuse bandwagon for this guy, giving him a pass year in, year out. And quite frankly, I'm sick of it. Dallas Goedert needs to step the hell up, or we need to find a replacement. Plain and simple. Be better.
Yeah.
He also needs to be targeted.
Right. I mean, again, well, listen, again, one of the many excuses. But, again, maybe if you didn't get hurt every 2 seconds, you'd be in more games, again, the excuse, whatever. And now this year, the excuse is going to be, oh, well, we have such a complete offense. We have wide receivers. We have, Saquon Barkley. We have, Jalen Hurts. Well, Dallas Goedert is like the 12th option. Like, I don't want to hear it. Get your ass involved in the play. Go up to Kellen Moore and grab that little twerp by the shirt.
Why the name calling?
And pull him up close and say, listen, I'm a top tight end in this league and I deserve to show it. Give me the damn ball.
Ryan, who hurt you?
No one hurt me.
Who hurt you?
No one hurt me.
All right, I got to flip the script here. I'm going optimism, but I'm once again going with an optimism that no one will agree with me on. But hear me out before you judge me. Ryan, this means you.
Okay.
I am optimistic because now I firmly believe with the way things are lined up in the coaching staff that Nick Sirianni can do what he is really good at, and that's being the CEO of the team. Okay. And I actually think this can work here. I think Nick will feel a little bit of humility after what happened last year. I do believe that. I do believe he feels a little bit of humility. I think he got humbled. Okay. And sometimes it has to happen to the young, energetic, charismatic coach who has a lot of success early. And I think he's going to be able to focus on what he likes to do, which is being a part of the whole team. Okay, he's still going to have his touches on the offense, but I think you're going to see a much more Kellen Moore type offense with a few Nick Sirianni wrinkles. And I think you're going to see Vic Fangio's defense and maybe a couple things Nick may just suggest. But I think Nick is a student of the game. I think he is a good football coach. But I think having the focus on the offense and being the guy who he is really good at being just didn't work. And I think CEO Nick is going to be a major, major benefit for this team this season.
I hope so, man. I really hope so. I hope you're right.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'll agree. I think for me, I'm gonna start being a little bit more positive, and I'm gonna go my first reason for being optimistic.
Can't even say the word.
Yeah, apparently, yeah, it's so foreign. I don't even know what it means. Yeah, I honestly think one of the greatest reasons to be optimistic is Mr. Saquon Barkley.
Whoa.
I think we are going to finally have that running game that people have been shouting from the rooftops, going outside of NovaCare Complex with signs and spouting off at the internet to run the damn ball. I think Saquon Barkley is going to be the running back we have all dreamed of. And he is going to be the answer to all of our running prayers. And he is going to be utilized in such a way by Kellen Moore. And he is going to have a 20 billion time better offensive line to run behind. Saquon Barkley will be a madman this year in the NFL.
All right. I'm going to piggyback off of that one because mine's somewhat similar. For me, my reason for optimism in Jeff Stoutland, we trust. I mean, I keep going with the coordinators, and now I'm going with a coach. But at the end of the day, the NFL is a passing league. It's all about protecting your quarterback. And this one's all about, Cam Jurgens and him hitting the ground running from day one, replacing Jason Kelce. Major pressure will be on Tyler Steen. But luckily, we have the best in the business to coach these guys up and get them going to protect Jalen Hurts this season. Jeff Stoutland has a full offseason to get Jurgens and Steen at the guard and center position. So give me in Jeff Stoutland, we trust.
Now, I want to take – I see your Jeff Stoutland, and I agree with your Jeff Stoutland, but I want to look at a skepticism side of this.
Oh, boy.
And that is replacing the locker room leadership of guys like Jason Kelce and Fletcher Cox. Because, yes, you have a lot of talented players on this team, but do you have the leadership qualities in that locker room that guys like Kelce and Cox have been the steadfast guys for that over many, many years? Because that's something I'm concerned about. That's something that, is Devontae Smith going to step up and be a leader? Is Jalen Hurts going to be a more vocal leader? They need that. Okay. Every team needs that. You kind of look just across the street to the Philadelphia Phillies. They have leaders in that locker room, and they love being a part of that locker room. I mean, you heard Bryce Harper say it during All-Star Weekend. I'm a little nervous about that. Almost like, obviously, you're going to worry about missing their play, but that off-the-field stuff is very concerning to me. And where's that leadership going to come from with those guys now retired?
I look at the defense. I'm more worried about the lack of leadership on defense than I am on offense.
I guess I know you got Lane and these guys, but Kelce was such an integral part of it. It's going to be interesting. I mean, Kelce, not only he was there every game, he played in every game. Is it going to be Mailata? I don't know. There's people. You're right. There's more people on offense that you could say, hey, hopefully he makes that step than defense. But just overall in the locker room, That leadership thing is going to be crucial, and I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, we really, I mean, Kelsey was here for so long that we kind of have taken for granted like his responsibilities, I think, a little bit. And that's why I put in Jeff Stoutland we trust, because that's a lot of pressure on Cam Jurgens, the processing, the piece where he has to recognize the blitz and make the play calls and all that stuff. That's a big responsibility, but I'm going to say, prove me wrong. So Jeff Stoutland's record speaks for itself.
Sure does. Sure does.
Ryan, do you want to give us an optimism one?
Sure. I think we should all be optimistic for our cornerback room. And I know you said young birds in the safety, but I'm just going to put it at cornerback room. We have taken what was once in many years was such a horrible thing here. And we've had a few moments of glory here. And obviously when Bradbury and Slay were doing their thing, but Bradbury fell off and last year, and it was concerning. And a lot of people are still hating on Slay. And, we went ahead and we addressed that in the draft with two amazing selections in Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. And we also have my boy, Keely Ringo. We added Isaiah Rodgers. We still have a slew of young players as well. We are essentially going to have, as a whole, as a room, probably one of the most talented cornerback rooms we've ever had in Philadelphia Eagle history. Now, I know we've had some great players.
Let's see it happen first.
Well, yes, you're right. I'm saying talent-wise. I didn't say, production. On paper, talent-wise, I think we might have one of the best talented groups, just given the depth that we finally have. And, again, if Q and Coop end up working out, we're going to have a long-standing run with good cornerback talent. So that's what I'm optimistic about.
It's the versatility that I'm really excited to watch. Like you talk about Cooper DeJean, where he could play ultimately Quinyon versus Isaiah Rodgers versus Avante versus CJ, like playing in the slot at the safety on the outside, like all over the place. These guys have a lot of versatility that could be really fun to watch.
Sure.
I'm going to go with my last one. And I've been pounding the table about this for a long time, but you look at the Eagles' defensive tackle depth, and that's where I'm really bugging. Sorry, Rob. I see you.
Well, no, actually, but I'm once again, I got a flip side to this, but go ahead.
Sure. I mean, you look at from 2013 to 2023, the years in which Fletcher Cox was a starter, he averaged 840 defensive snaps per season. That's a lot of snaps for these young kids to fill in. You look at Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, both having conditioning problems to finish out 2023. You look at Milton Williams, clear breakout candidate in 2024. You look at the rest of the roster, Moro Jomo is going to have to play that Milton Williams role. That could be a little interesting, but guys like PJ Mustipher and Tui Pelotu, I think, are just bodies. Maybe Gabe Hall as an undrafted free agent gives you something, but the depth at defensive tackle, given how much that position just got, exhausted to finish out last year, it's got to be a concern.
It does. I think the depth definitely has to be a concern. And, like you said, Fletcher Cox retires out in Los Angeles. Aaron Donald retires. And, when these greats start to retire, a torch has to be passed. And guess what? Jalen Carter is going to take that shit and run with it, baby. I have full optimism in Jalen Carter becoming one of the top 3, if not the best defensive tackle in the league. I think the time is now. These guys are retiring. The young guys got to step up. I know there's a few of them out there, but in my opinion, I have optimism in the fact that Jalen Carter is not happy with how the end of last year went. All right, we talk about Jordan Davis, but I feel like Jalen Carter has a different type of motor in him that was going to really push him this offseason. And because of that, I see this guy taking that next step and becoming that dominant force up the middle that we know he can be. And I have a ton of optimism in Jalen Carter becoming that cornerstone piece in the middle for the Philadelphia Eagles defense.
All right, Ryan, back to back.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to shock you here and go optimism here first. And my third reason to be optimistic is Mr. Howie Roseman. He has done an exemplary job of getting ahead of the curve. We have signed our 2 star wide receivers before the slew of deals came through. We have a quarterback who, while heavily paid, still not too bad in the considering everyone who's more paid and who's going to get more paid than him. He continuously gets our team ahead of anything. You see Dallas, who is going to struggle to pay CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons and you name it, whoever else, and Dak Prescott. So Howie has given us an opportunity to, just by his genius of the cap and his signings, have given us an additional leg up in order to get this division and make a strong run into the playoffs. So, Howie, baby.
Howie Roseman. How many picks do they have in the top?
Is it? I wish that we did this every year for like 6 years to see how many times Howie Roseman has switched from optimism to skepticism, because we're all guilty of it, right? We're all guilty of it. And I guess when you do that, you look and you say, well, he's probably been more good than bad, but it's just, I guarantee you, if we did this every year for, say, the last 10 years, his name would flip every year.
We got to see it happen on the field, man. We got to see it happen on the field.
Well, sure, of course. This is all conjecture until things actually happen here. But my last reason for being skeptical is, once again, now I know, Dives, you have used this as one of your reasons to be optimistic.
Just copying my list. Is that what we're doing here?
No, because this is on your optimism, and this I'm using as my skepticism.
Interesting.
And it's having new coordinators once again. This is the third straight year of having brand new coordinators for both offense and defense. And for those players that have been here, especially somebody like Jalen Hurts, who has to continuously, learn a brand new coordinator, brand new quarterback coach, whatever, again, it's the lack of consistent leadership outside of Nick Sirianni that is staggering, and it's concerning. And we've seen it in plenty of other teams where they consistently change the leadership, the positional coaches or the coordinators, and players are hard to adjust. So I'm expecting another slow start. We have a brand new offense to learn, a brand new defense to learn, and yes, obviously Fangio has the grandfather of a defense that many already know, but still, it's there's still new things to learn. There is worried about that.
Yeah, there is. I think the one difference when you take this year's coordinators from last year's coordinators is these guys have done it before.
Agreed.
We've seen, they have a resume. I honestly believe going to the Super Bowl and Jonathan Gannon doing what Jonathan Gannon doing what he did hurt the Eagles so bad that they tried to fit these new up and comers at both positions. And it was just, look, I think everybody thought Ben Johnson was ready. Clearly he was not. And I just don't think it worked out in either case, because I think they were forced to bring these rookies in. And what happened was that made Nick Sirianni feel like he needed to do more, which I think was an issue, which is why I go back to the optimism of CEO Nick Sirianni, because now you got two guys that have systems who can run them, and he could go back to doing what he needs to do, and that's be head coach of the football team.
Yeah, and listen, I hope you're absolutely right, but you could have Bill Walsh as the offensive coordinator, and insert whatever great defensive mind you want as a D coordinator, and still, it's the fact of the matter of constantly every year coming into training camp and having to learn rather than just do and get better and just get your stuff down. You're constantly learning. You're constant, again, Q, what up? I just think it slows the process down, and we're in for another slow start, regardless.
Yeah, that is definitely a double-edged sword. Whereas I'm excited, they could definitely start slow out the gate. We heard Jalen Hurts say 95% of the offense is new. We obviously are expecting Hurts to be out of his comfort zone in this offense for better. I think for a lot better, especially for him growing and improving. But there's definitely reasons to be concerned. There's no doubt about it. So where we go, I think the take here from this experiment is we have a lot of good and bad with guys that aren't even on the football field, that aren't even playing. There's a lot of positives and a lot of negatives for the coaching staff.
Yeah. I think, and there's a lot of question marks, I think, when it comes to all that, which, isn't the greatest feeling in the world, but, this team's got a good mix of veterans and young guys, and you got to hope that they can put this thing together. And even though there's questions about Nick Sirianni, it's year 4, it's year 4 with him. So where there's not continuity at the coordinator position, no doubt about it, your head coach is still the same guy, and let's see what happens here. I mean, obviously, it's going to be a short leash. I think we all know that with him. So any failure will come back on him, regardless of if it was his fault or not. It's going to come back on him.
Yeah, week 1 is going to be off the charts. The hype of week 1 is going to be through the – because, Kellen Moore is not going to show us anything during the preseason.
No.
So we're not going to learn anything.
And it's a tough friggin' matchup. Brazil, an up-and-coming team like Green Bay, and oh, my God, if they lose the game, it's going to be Jesus Christ. I don't think I'll be able to listen to anything for a week, because it's going to be fire the coach, bench the quarterback. Howie sucks. Fire the coordinators. They both are overrated. It's going to be a mess if they lose. So
it is.
Hopefully for our sanity, they win, because I can't deal with people. You PSD will be if they do lose, PSD will be a lot of fun that week. We will have a lot of fun that week.
Remember, you got to give them a good chunk of the season. Look at last year, week 11, week 12, the Eagles were on top of the world, and it was.
Listen, I think if we were honest with ourselves, that those were the hardest 11 games stretch. Where every win was hard fought. It was close. It was ugly, and we always said, "Oh well, I'd rather win and ugly. It's still a win. It doesn't matter. We're still winning." But we said that to ourselves every week, and we ignored the fact that there obviously was some problems brewing the entire year. And I think San Francisco, exposed the crap out of us, and honestly, smacked them around a little bit.
Yep.
And listen, sometimes when you get punched in the mouth, it's hard to get back up. And unfortunately, the Eagles didn't get back up.
They did not. Let's roll on to our last question of the night. Is there a position on the team where you think a week 1 starter is not currently on the roster? Anybody?
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah, I'm going to jump, and I'm going to say it again. And I know we've said it before, and I still believe this team needs another starting safety to go with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Because to me, think Cooper DeJean is going to be more of a slot guy. I'm not going to put him at the safety position. Now, maybe when I was in the Dominican, things happen in the NFL that I didn't know about, but you still see a guy like Simmons out there just lurking. Would not at all be surprised if this continues, right? Like, he's a veteran. And people said this a few weeks ago. He's not signing until the end of a training camp. He's not going to training camp. But if you look during the preseason and the early part of training camp, and that second safety spot can't be solidified, and Sidney Brown's just not ready.
He's not.
He's not.
Yeah. So why not give a 1-year deal to Simmons, who's going to want to prove that he can still play? Put him next to Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and now look at your second. Like, your secondary is already good, but if you go and do that, I mean, now we're talking back there, man. Now we're saying we dare you to throw the ball on us. We dare you to try and expose our defensive backs this year. So I'm gonna stick and pound the table for Mr. Simmons still.
Yes, I have nothing to add to that.
Yeah.
It's exactly where.
Wow, that's speechless. That's a first.
Yeah, again, 2 guys and another coming off an ACL injury. Brown just went to the PUP list.
Yeah.
Given how important the position is in Fangio's system,
I know,
and how thin they are right now, man, how he has to address the safety spot. I don't know what they're doing with Bradbury. They're probably going to throw him at safety and see if like the shit can stick on the wall a little bit, but it's probably not. He doesn't have the athleticism. He doesn't have the tackling anymore. Yeah, I definitely think Simmons has future Eagle written all over him.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. That would be absolutely fantastic.
We have guests, ladies and gentlemen. We have guests.
Is it Justin Simmons?
Yeah.
Hold on, Luca, back up. I want them to see your shirt.
It's a Philly thing. I love it.
He went in. He said he wanted to wear one of Daddy's shirts to bed tonight, and came out in that one. He chose that one all on his own. And then my alma mater, high school, right behind you, with one of the girls. By the way, gentlemen, this young man on Tuesday of last week turned 5 years old.
Oh,
he turned 5 years old, and tomorrow, this little lady with her sister turned 9. 9. Dives, when I met you, they were like 3. I feel
my daughter, dude. My daughter turns 5 in a couple weeks.
It's
Rob,
yeah.
I was on a show with you live when Eva took her first steps.
Yes, I remember that.
Oh my God.
I do remember that. I do, because Luca and I were around the same age, obviously. So, and here they are. They're fighting over camera.
Right, naturally,
the fight has begun.
Okay,
let me see what they need. You guys continue to talk.
Right.
Yeah.
Quinn says happy birthdays.
Yeah.
Why would Simmons not want to be signed before preseason? It's just what they like. Nobody plays preseason anymore.
Yeah, nobody wants to go through the gruel of training camp. Honestly,
and quite frankly, like the best players don't play preseason. Period. So it's just what it is.
Yeah, no.
Just what the NFL is today. And I'm not that I agree with it, not that I disagree with it, but it's just what it is.
As long as he ends up an Eagle, I don't care what he does. Honestly,
and the Eagles shouldn't be playing any of their guys during the preseason. I'll say it right now. You have a bye week in week freaking 5.
Yeah,
it's a joke.
A long season. Yeah. Dad, what about you? What about you? You have a position besides safety?
I guess linebacker. Linebacker's the easy one.
Big easy one.
It's definitely linebacker or safety.
The linebackers are just all of them are awful. Oh, yeah. Hey, Rob.
Hey, guys. Just putting out fires, baby. Just putting out fires left and right here. Unbelievable. Thank you, Q. Appreciate that. By the way, I wasn't going to say anything because it's not something I like to broadcast, but there's another big birthday coming Sunday. Big birthday.
Oh yeah. Oh,
This
this
guy.
guy.
Oh, it's your birthday?
And it's a big one, boys. This is a big one.
Is that 4-0?
This is the 4-0 this year.
Oh wow. Wow. Welcome to the 40s, buddy.
Yeah, I'm not happy.
It's overrated, dude. It don't mean nothing.
Yeah, well, that's not what my cousin, who has decided to plan a weekend-long birthday that I have no idea what I'm doing.
Another vacation? Jesus.
No, I'm golfing Friday. I believe I'm going to be in Atlantic City Friday night. And then you want to hear what he told me for Saturday for my dress? Because I said, can you tell me what I should pack to wear since you're not going to tell me where to go? Damn, Q.
Yeah, right? Damn, it's making me feel old.
He goes, you should wear something nice, but that you don't mind getting wet. I said, what the hell does that mean?
What does that mean?
I said, he said, yeah, I'm not really sure what to pack either. I went, you're giving me nothing. You're giving me nothing at this point. So, I may be on the show, or I may be dead in the middle of the ocean. I don't really know. We'll find out.
Wear a tuxedo while on a jet ski in the Atlantic. Whatever. Sounds like my kind of party.
This is 51.
Damn, cute.
Oh wow, I love it. Well, listen, Rob, we'll have to celebrate your birthday when you come down for the Beer Olympics.
Yes.
Which
yes.
I'm very, very excited that Team EOP will be heavily represented. So
can't tell you I'm going to do very well, but I'll be.
It don't matter.
We were doing some Beer Olympics at the Summer Ale Fest at the Philly Zoo last weekend. That's for sure.
Nice.
That was quite a good time. All right, guys.
I got two things. Sorry, I know we kind of got off on a tangent there. So I think that potentially we could go out and get a right guard that could come in and start. I know we have a lot of options, but they're all kind of meh. And obviously, we're putting a lot of faith into somebody who hasn't really seen much of the field. So, and then the other one is defensive end or edge. There's a lot of really decent players out there that could be added to the rotation. One of my favorite offseason targets for the last 5 years is still out there. He hasn't been out there for 5 years, but he's out there currently. It's Yannick Ngakoue, who I absolutely love. I think he actually just worked out with Miami along with Emmanuel Ogba. I'll take either one of those guys. I think that'd be a great addition to go along, with everything and taking some snaps away and, just spreading out the love. That's all.
By the way, what if a tight end surprisingly gets cut from another team? And they were, it's almost only getting paid $1 million for this season.
Yeah.
How about a quality tight end too?
Be nice. That would be nice.
All right, let's wrap it up, guys. We're gonna pick on the horn. Rob, final plugs.
Yeah. So before I get to the plugs, it seems like Minnesota decided to chant overrated to Bryce Harper in his first at bat. And he hit a 2-run bomb as they chanted overrated. So that's awesome.
Really? That's
awesome. Yes. And it was also the hardest hit home run by more than 4 miles per hour more than the previous. 113.4 or 8, something like that. That's ridiculous.
That's unbelievable.
That out in a hurry.
Yes, it did. Watch that. So anyway, you could catch me here every Monday. You could catch me on PSD, which is typically live on Thursdays. This week I have to pre-record. I have something going on Thursday at that time, so I am going to have to pre-record and release it. We'll have to release it. I know. Oh Jesus, he just came out of nowhere like a ninja. I didn't even see him. Didn't even see him coming. Did not even see him coming. Anyway, but you can catch me there, catch me here, catch me on X or Twitter or whatever the hell it's called at Philly_Madness. He's mocking me. He's literally copying everything I'm saying.
He's literally copying everything I'm saying.
Yeah, this is happening right now.
Yeah,
He's got a point. He's very smart.
He's got a point. He's really smart.
My name's Luca.
My name is Luca.
And I smell.
And I smell.
Okay. All right, that's enough.
No, keep going.
I'm muting. You guys speak. I love you all.
All right, Ryan, you're up, man.
Oh man, he fell for the classic. Yeah, sorry. Final thoughts is I know it sounds like I am more. I can't even. Oh my god, he's too funny. Yeah, I know it sounds like I'm more negative than positive here, but I actually am very positive on this season. I really do think the Eagles will win the division, and hopefully make a playoff run with a win or two in the playoffs. I don't necessarily know if they're Super Bowl bound just yet, but hey, stranger things have happened. But as far as plugs, you can find me every Monday doing double duty. 6 o'clock football smack talk show, 9 o'clock party on Broad. Every Tuesday, the greatest Eagles show out there, period. Birds of the Round Table at 8 o'clock every Tuesday. And then normally every Sunday at about 8 o'clock. Dibes and I are also on the Party on Broad college football edition, where we discuss the college football landscape, NFL prospects, Eagles prospects, and kind of have fun doing it with some betting options and other things that we're going to be coming along throughout the season. So
can I ask when to bet on my squad's Penn State's collapse, because it happens every year, right when they either have to play Ohio State or Michigan every year.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I think Oregon and USC are officially in the Big Ten now. So
I think they play USC
early
this year. Yeah.
Yeah, expect the collapse a little earlier than normal because now.
Why can't they just get rid of James Franklin? It drives me insane. Like, this guy can't coach. He's a terrible, terrible game day coach.
But he's a great recruiter.
And they can't win because he stinks.
And they're not getting any closer to
Ohio State or Michigan or Oregon.
I feel like Ohio State and Michigan just keep getting better. Like, it's crazy.
So annoying. So annoying.
Especially Ohio State. They were like, oh, yeah, we were really good last year. Let's go ahead and transfer portal like 9 All-Americans to our and we have
State brought everybody back, man.
Yeah, and we're like, oh, yeah, we have a great running back. Let's go ahead and just, get another, even better running back and have a two-headed monster. And yeah, it's let's go get a better quarterback. Let's, like it's just not fair.
Ohio State is my Dallas Cowboys of college football. I loathe Ohio State. Loathe them.
Yeah, they suck.
Michigan's defense could be better this year than last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've got more quality talent on that defense. It's crazy.
I don't know. Not according to College Football 25, where my Pittsburgh Panthers will decimate those Michigan Wolverines. So,
well, Penn State beat Ohio State 56-0 in mine. So, So we had a great night that night. We partied in Happy Valley.
There you go. We got to get on a game and stream it.
Yeah.
I'm god awful. Obviously, I'm not nearly as good as you guys.
I like playing the computer.
I'm terrible. Guys, if you love Sixers basketball, I wrapped up the summer league with a show with Sean and Harrison from Liberty Ballers. Go check that out. That was earlier today. Grading, tier scaling all the players on the summer league roster. So Sixers basketball is done. It is now time.
Hang on. It's not done yet. You want to know why?
Why? I'll tell you. He's good, man. He was good.
Let's go.
I told you I was creating it. I told you it was getting created and popped right in here. I can't wait to use it during the season.
Oh, it's so good.
Bona felt good all summer league. So,
well, they ended up signing him to like a legitimate contract, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Do they still have any two-way deals to give away? I know they gave one to Dalton.
Yeah.
Dalton, David Jones, and oh my God, it's Dalton, David Jones.
I'm a Sixers fan. You are.
Oh, that's bad.
They didn't give it to our boy.
It's not Judah. It's not They didn't give it to Keve Aluma.
What the hell?
Who am I missing? Come on,
Edwards.
Yes,
They gave it to him.
Jeez, Yes, Justin.
What is it? What is that? Does that
Did
mean
he ever look any better? Because I didn't get to see a lot of the summer league.
He finished well. Yeah, he finished well.
Good,
Yeah.
good. I mean, he obviously has the pedigree, but I was hoping he had a better showing than those first few games.
Yeah, your main four: Ricky, Aluma, Bona, and who else? Who am I missing now?
McCain?
Again, I'm clearly already checked out with Sixers.
McCain?
Doughton, McCain,
Doughton. Yeah, I think Doughton we could probably put on the top of the list there. He signed a two-way contract.
Yeah. And what happens to Aluma? He just like disappears?
I don't know. Maybe exhibit 10.
Nobody sees him.
I wouldn't let him walk, man. He's really good.
I like him better than downtown Downton.
I did too.
Yeah,
I'm not a big Downton fan, but they're clearly using
they want something
to get a backup point guard versus a developmental player. So, all right, guys, we're closing up shop one last time at Philly Sports PSA. Right there, that's Ryan. Down there, Mr. Vacation himself at Philly_Madness. We'll be back tomorrow night for Birds of the Roundtable at 8. And, of course, Philly's post-game live in the third inning because of the delay.
What was the delay? Rain delay, actually?
I guess. I'm not sure. I just turned it off.
That's soda.
But anyway, thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night. For Ryan, for Rob, for myself, stay awesome.